Dmitry, welcome to Material Science Hot Takes.
Thank you, Taylor. Sounds like a torture.
I'm really happy you decided to do this. For those that don't know Dmitry, he's our new department chair in Material Science and Engineering, and we're excited to get to know you a little bit better. My very first question for you, as we take our first wing, is how do you do with hot food?
I'm not. So, yeah, they have a saying like Eastern Europeans, hot food for them is ketchup is a hot food. So, I might be quitting on number 3 here, so we'll see how it goes.
The first 5 aren't too bad. They're actually really good, I think.
Okay.
This first one is from the people who make the series Hot Ones. It's their own sauce.
Okay.
I think it's really good.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, this is good.
That's not a hot sauce at all, right?
No. I can feel the bite, but it's
Okay. That's our practice round. First wing down, not so bad.
no.
My next question for you, what's the best restaurant in town? What do you like to eat?
Well, for food-wise, I like Red Iguana.
Naturally.
I mean, that's really. I mean, anybody is asked where to go, I would say Red Iguana. Such a wonderful. Mumbai House. I mean,
Super good Indian
it's
food.
yeah. So that's my 2 favorites. Sort of, if I really want to get food outside, it's one or
Fantastic.
another. Yeah.
Okay, our next one is this Banji Ranch. It's a ranch hot sauce.
It's a ranch. Okay. I like ranch in general.
Let's see what you think of this one.
And you have filters there, right? Because I will turn red very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we've got Cadejo hot sauce. We're warming up.
Okay.
Okay, while you load that up, your next question is, what was the hardest class you ever took when you were a student?
When I was a student, let me take a bite. The hardest class I had statistical mechanics when I was undergrad. And the professor who was teaching, I mean, she was great, but she would write with both hands.
For real?
For real. And so sometimes we would, on purpose, tell her, oh, we think you missed an integral or you missed a factor of 2 there. So we could catch up with her writing. Because, of course, there were no notes at that time on Canvas. Nothing, right? You miss the lecture, you miss the lecture. And she liked to do all the derivation of StatMech on a board. So
Oh, that's rough.
it is rough.
That's one of those classes where I had to take it like 3 times before it really kind of stuck, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was tough. We also didn't know, I mean, we were engineers. We didn't know necessarily why we needed it.
Yeah.
Little did I know that I will become basically a computer modeler who will depend on the StatMech.
You'll
all my
actually be one of those
research,
who
right.
uses it.
Yes.
I think a lot of people can dismiss it. We're never going to use this.
Exactly.
You actually do.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming to another one by the makers of the series Hot Ones. This is Los Calientes Verde, green chili sauce. Not bad.
So you tried all of them, right?
I've done them all a couple times. I did it with Mike Free in an earlier video and with Mike Simpson. Okay, while you get that ready, our next question for you is, have you got a favorite crystal structure?
Well, for me, it has to be polymer crystal, right? Because I'm in polymers. So polyethylene oxide has a very cool crystal structure because the polymer chain has a helix structure in it.
Along the backbone?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's basically a helix. So it has alternating trans and gauches such that it has a perfect, nice helix. And there was a lot of controversy in sort of interpreting how this polymer does in solutions and in melt, because there are a lot of gauches to make this helix.
Yep.
So when people did the crystal structure analysis, they said, oh, okay, we understand there is gauches and a certain sequence of gauches. Then they look at the same, let's say, Raman spectrum at the same polymer in solution, and they still see a lot of gauches, and they say, oh, it must be helical when it is in solution, in like aqueous solution and water.
Yep.
And this was a belief for a long time until we done simulations and we showed it's not a helix in water. It's actually, it's a coil chain with a lot of gauches. Has nothing to do with the helices which they see in crystal.
So this is cool. This is not only a favorite structure, but this is one that you contributed to.
We contribute to understand that it's not in solution. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it is, so I'm attached to it.
Very cool. Okay, that was number 4. Let's go to hot sauce number 5. This is Brooklyn Deli Ghost Pepper hot sauce.
Okay.
Ghost pepper's getting dangerous.
Well, my mouth is burning already. So.
From that last one?
Well, from all of them. I do have
The
a little bit
cumulative.
after test, yeah.
Ghost pepper's getting there. So, my next question for this one is, when you're not solving new polymer structures and doing, your research, have you got hobbies you like to do?
Sure. Well, we live in Utah, right? So outdoors, I like hiking, backpacking. I go basically almost regularly to like Grand Canyon to backpack.
That place is so rad. Not too far from here, like 8-hour drive or something?
It's, you can get
Because
there
north versus south.
Well, depends you go, right? So
Yeah.
I usually go on the North Rim because that's where very few people you will see. You take about 6 or 7 hour drives and you spend overnight in Kanab, and then you go sort of for the final stretch.
So you're one of those guys that does like rim to rim, back to rim?
I actually have never done rim to rim, but I do go down and spend there 4 days and come back.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm like embarrassed. I love backpacking and hiking. I've never done rim to rim. I've never even gone down the Grand Canyon. I've been to it. I've never gone down.
You have to. It's a completely different experience.
It's on my bucket list. I gotta make it happen.
And the North Rim is great because I can give you a route to do. It has wonderful waterfalls. It has wonderful rivers. You
Sign me up.
Okay.
Yeah, I love canyoneering. I've just never done the Grand Canyon, the big one, the big daddy of all. So soon I hope.
Okay. Yeah. I will. Well, I'll plan and include you on the next experiment.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Our next one is a mushroom mayhem. I don't think I've ever thought about mushrooms and hot before, other than this sauce. So
I had a lot of mushrooms. I collected a lot of mushrooms when I was a kid.
What, like foraging in the woods?
Yeah, I grew up in Siberia, right? So basically in the fall, parents will just kick us out, go to the forest, get the mushrooms, and we'll bring mushrooms. And mushrooms was part of my life while I was growing up.
It's like a barbecue sauce smell to it.
Yeah.
And we're in the back half, number 6. It's getting hotter.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Right from the start.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask something that people don't know about you, but you kind of just answered. You grew up in Siberia and you were a mushroom hunter? Any other secrets that you want to share with us?
Well, when people asking me, where are you from? Right? So I was born in Uzbekistan. I lived 5 years in Germany, then 11 years in Siberia, 6 years in Ukraine, and then now 28 years in the US. So then I'm given the question,
So
where am I from? I'm from everywhere.
It's from everywhere. But you've been in Utah longer than everyone, so we're going to claim you. You're an official Utah.
I lived in Utah longer than anywhere else. So unfortunately, my accent stays there.
It's charming.
Eastern European accent.
It's charming. And it's intimidating.
Intimidating?
Oh, Eastern Europeans is way scariest accent, right?
I don't know. Because you're watching too much movies with all this
Russia's always a bad
Russian mafia, right? Okay, now it starts hitting me.
This one is Dreams of Calypso Angry Goat Pepper Sauce.
Okay.
Okay, as you contemplate your fate with the goat pepper, the question I have for you is, tell me about the coolest part of your research. What's the coolest thing you do?
Ooh. And this is not the hottest. All right.
You don't got these in Siberia?
No, when I was growing up, the food was really sort of plain, but there were a lot of alcohol, sort of. That's where they compensated for, I guess, for taste. Well, I'm doing computer modeling, as you know, right? So we're doing on molecular scale simulations, where we put a bunch of molecules for different systems and look how they behave and connect those molecular scale properties to continuum level properties or macroscopic properties. And the cool part about this is, first of all, it is a virtual experiment.
Yeah.
And it's the cleanest experiment.
Harmless computational
We know
chemistry.
exactly how much molecules we put in. There is no problem like true experimentalists have, whether I have contaminated system.
What's the actual composition?
What's the actual composition? We have exact composition, but also we can play what if games. So we can be gods, right? For our molecules, we can say, what if this molecule has twice less charge or twice less attraction? How would it change the behavior of the system? And from this, we're learning a lot about what important and what not important in the system, right? Which interactions are the key, for example. Or if we change the structure a little bit, or change the dipole moment. I mean, we've done a lot of this what-if games in the simulations.
That's interesting, because normally I would think like, well, why bother? If that molecular compound can't exist, what have you learned? But I guess what you're saying is like, you can learn mechanisms and interactions, even if it's not necessarily a new material. You can use that mechanism or understanding to find a new material or something.
Well, perfect example, we had a collaboration with Germany on battery projects, and they made polymer electrolytes, and they synthesized polymers, put lithium salt in it, and look how lithium is conducted. We done the simulation, and we found that actually it's a block copolymer, so they use some chemical agent to basically create polymer chains. And for convenience, they use one chemistry. And it turns out that linker, which was using for those polymers, was a lithium trapper. So it would trap lithium and hold to that lithium for a long time. And it would not allow lithium to diffuse. So then we did a what-if game and said, what if that molecule wouldn't be as polar? So instead of OH group, you would have just CH3 group there. And we predicted the conductivity would increase 3 times. So then they just went and did it.
Find the chemical that does that.
Yeah, they just basically changed the linker, because they didn't think about that linker is an important part, because it's a small group just linking 2 blocks in the polymer. But turns out that was...
yeah, that's cool. And to do the experiment, like not knowing that at a time would have been sort of high risk, but for you, that's not a high risk experiment to do. That's
not at all. Right.
That's a relatively simple simulation to plug that in.
And again, they wouldn't even think that this small group, which is only like 10% of it in the whole polymer, would play a role. But 10%, the salt, it traps all the lithium, or most of the lithium which is in the system.
Yeah.
So,
Dmitry, we come to the worst. This one here, Da-bomb evolution hot sauce is, of the 10, it's not the most Scoville units, but it is a son of a...
it looks the scariest. It looks brown and
it's really horrible.
And then there is a bomb on it, right? It's.
They put a bomb on it. Oh, it's thick. That was like really thick. So, no shame. No, shame if you don't put a healthy glob on there. Stuff comes out like peanut butter. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, that's probably, it sticks to your throat. Right?
Oof, it's rough.
Okay, I put a decent amount.
So I started asking this question during COVID when people were picking up new skills. So, have you learned any new skills in your life? Anything that you're developing now as an adult? What are you working on?
New skills.
That one's no joke.
It is, yeah. Well, I'm still learning to ski well downhill. So I just came yesterday, got accidentally on a couple black slopes, and my legs are hurting. So yeah, that I think I would continue to perfect that skill forever. But it's fun. It's fun to learn.
Did you not grow up skiing? Was that something you learned when you came to Utah?
I grew up skiing, but it was cross country. So we would do it in PE, in the minus 30-degree
No
weather.
way.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that would be our PE class. We had like 2 periods combined.
That's not.
It's
It's just growing.
It's like if we put more air into your mouth, it's burning there. And we would get skis and you go around 10-kilometer. So when I came here, I didn't know how to ski. So I started learning when my daughter wanted to learn skiing. So I basically was watching an instructor who was instructing
Sort of
her.
peeking over the shoulder. Ah, that's how you do it. I grew up skiing, and I don't even remember learning. I was like between my dad's legs as like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old. And I skied till I was 12, and then I switched to snowboarding. And then at 35, so what, like 7 years ago, I switched back to skiing, and I thought it'd be like riding a bike, like super easy, but it was super hard. It was super hard to get back into. And now I'm a good skier, but it was not like trivial to pick that right back up. How you doing?
I'm crying already.
That one, it just like is just there.
Mm-hmm.
That's just life now. It's just pain. All right, we'll go to number 9. This one actually is significantly hotter Scovilles, but it tastes really good, and I don't think it hangs with you as long.
Well,
There's
I
another
think
one. from the
everything
company.
is burning in my mouth now, so I can feel it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is from Butterfly Bakery, Vermont. Taco vibes only. Pretty good. Woo. That de bomb is not a mean one.
It is.
Okay, taco vibes only. Not as bad. It's hot, but
Yeah,
I don't think it
everything
sticks with you as bad. The
I
other
think
one,
it's
like,
burned already.
that was just a wasteland.
It's just. And the milk doesn't help.
Milk's not doing it for you? Last couple times I did Frosties for Wendy's. Something about the cold, the ice creaminess.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. I went chocolate milk this time.
Because I saw it on TV on the hot ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
They drink it milk.
Milk's pretty good, and the sweet's good. So alcohol, which I don't do, milk, dairy, sweet, and acid are all supposed to help.
Okay. Well, it's not helping.
It's not doing it though. Okay, my 9th question for you was, tell me about your favorite class to teach.
Well, I'm teaching primarily polymer course, Introduction to Polymers, 3000 level, and transport phenomena. And I like them both. I mean, I really like interacting with students of both of them. On polymers, there is a lot of interesting topics you bring which students never thought about. I mean, the properties of polymers, where it came from. And transport phenomena is really close to me because this is basically what my undergraduate training is.
That's
I was
your,
in
that's your
of
research too, right? Don't you do a lot of transport?
not as much as polymers. I mean, fundamental physics of polymers. But my undergraduate degree was thermophysics. So basically, it was really focused on transport phenomena and thermophysical properties of materials. So I like both of those courses, but I'm happy to teach it. So like right now we're teaching this science for sports gear.
So much fun.
I plan to teach science for cosmetics.
Very
So that again has a lot of polymers in it because a lot of cosmetics products use polymers and surfactants and something which is close to to my research.
Woo! You get flashbacks to the bottom. So let me ask, you're department chair.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start teaching one class a year? Because you got cosmetics, the sports gear class, transport, polymers. You gotta give something
I
up.
probably should. Yeah. I will teach cosmetics probably together with Chen.
In the spring.
No, not this fall. Yeah, it would be fall after next.
Oh, okay.
We were not on time to get approved everything for the fall with the curriculum committee. But yeah, I probably need to give up one of this, is a polymers or transport phenomena. probably will be
I
transparent.
feel your pain. I had to give up my intro to material science course that I've taught for like 12 years, and I love it, and I can do it in my sleep, and it's fun to teach it, but change is also good.
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody new can bring something new into class, and
All right, Dmitry, this is called Apollo, The Last Dab by Hot Ones.
okay.
2.5 million Scoville units. There's a lot of heat packed into there. I believe in you.
Okay, well, I got this far, so yeah.
Proof. We're actually putting it on there.
We're, yes.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Final bite.
This is hot too.
That was no joke. Okay. As you muscle through the pain, tell me why students should study material science at the University of Utah.
Well, material science in general, I think one of the coolest engineering discipline. It's right on the edge between engineering and science, right? That's why we call it material science and engineering. It's so interdisciplinary. If you look at my research, I've been doing research on batteries, fuel cells, on explosives, on rocket fuel, on dental materials we're doing right now, right? So
It's so cool.
you're learning so many things when you do a new project or learn new things. Oh, this is hot. It's getting worse as you put more air, as you talk.
Yeah,
as you
yeah.
talk,
It
gets
really
worse.
is.
So it's very interdisciplinary, very broad scope, and you can go basically in any industry, whether it's biotech, whether it's semiconductors, whether it's defense industry, right, or energy sector. I mean, basically with material science degree, all of them need materials.
Yeah.
So, hold on. If you live outside of Utah, then coming and doing material science here opens you the success to, I would say, unparalleled opportunities for outdoor recreation, skis, biking. So if you want to spend 5 years of great life, I mean, come to Utah, right?
It's a pretty sweet place.
I mean, you did your undergraduate in Santa Barbara, right?
No,
No,
undergrad.
you did undergrad here. You did your.
In fact, in
grad-
this office, I was a TA for Dr. Cutler.
You were okay.
20 years ago, 21 years ago now. But yeah, I went away. I went to Santa Barbara. I went to Boston for
Yeah.
grad school, and I came back for a reason.
And
It's an
Santa
awesome
Barbara
place
is
to
a
live.
great campus. I know
It is,
because
it
my
is.
daughter got PhD there. But I would say Utah is right there in terms of, if not more, in terms
Better
of,
in a lot of ways, a little worse in some. It is a great place to live and work.
So, and material science is great degree to get.
I agree.
And I'm crying.
Dmitry, you made it.
Uh,
Congratulations, man. Careful with your eyes. Don't touch your fingers on the eyes.
yeah, I know.
All right, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Okay.
It might be the shortest term of a department chair. Right?
Hopefully, you don't have any other important meetings this afternoon.
I do have executive meeting in 30 minutes.
Oh, gosh.
College of Science executive meetings.
Well, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, man.